Communication plays a central role in fundamental operations of our society, in businesses, in any government agencies, or even in our family and our loved ones. Our topic for today is about telecommunications and networks. In this video, you will learn the concepts and components of telecommunication networks, the business value of networks, and the nets.
Telecommunication and networks. So every day, people communicate with each other to give information and to avoid misunderstanding. In business, companies and government agencies are relying on communications. Their employees can use their devices to access certain applications, respond to emails, work on presentation, and participate in teleconference conversations, like in Zoom or Google Meet. So networks are used to connect devices together. Devices used to use the network to communicate and to share information. And to share information, devices needs to speak the same language. This language is called a protocol, which is a set of instructions of how to handle the information. Metcalfe's law is a concept used in computer networks and telecommunications to represent the value of a network. So it states that the value of a telecommunication network is proportional to the square of the number of users. So this is the formula. F of x is equal to n times n minus 1 divided by 2.
So this is the formula of Metcalfe's law. F of x, which is the network value, is equal to n, which is the number of people connected within any given network, multiplied by n minus 1. So the reason of minus 1 is to establish a number of all unique connections without the inclusion of connecting to itself. So divided by 2, we divide it by 2 to eliminate the copies of connections, such as the user A connects to user B and user B connects to user A. So only one of the two connections should be considered unique. So in our example, we have five devices that are connected, or people that are connected. So f of x is equal to, we have 5, so 5 minus 1, so that it cannot connect to itself, divided by 2. So f of x is equal to 4 divided by 2. So f of x is equal to 20 divided by 2. So the f of x is 10. So there are 10 connections in 5 people that are connected. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there are 10 connections. So if you do not eliminate the copies of connections, if you do not divide it by 2, in that case the possible connection would be 20.
Telecommunications. The concept of telecommunications includes all forms of long-distance communication. It is a technique that consists of transmitting a message and exchange information in any form, such as voice, data, text, images, audio, and video over the networks. Open systems. The primary goal of open systems is to promote easy and secure access by business professionals and consumers to the resources of the internet. Also, includes also the enterprise intranet and inter-organizational extranet. So open systems provide greater connectivity. It is the ability of networked computers to easily access and communicate with each other and share information. Open systems also provide high degree in interoperability. Interoperability, it is the ability of an open systems to enable end users' application to be accomplished using different varieties of computer systems, software packages, and databases provided by the variety of interconnected networks. So the interoperability, it ensures that anyone, anywhere on one network can communicate with anyone anywhere on another network. Middleware. Middleware is any programming that serves as glue together two separate programs. It is a system or software that connects two different or separate or unrelated applications together. Data management, application services, messaging, authentication, and API management are commonly handled by middleware. Digital network technologies. Digital network technologies, it is a rapid change from analog to digital network technologies. Analog, it is a voice-oriented transmission or sound waves. The wave of an analog is denoted by sine waves. For example, is the human voice air. Digital, it is a discrete pulse transmission. The wave of digital is denoted by square waves. For examples are computers, CDs, DVDs, and other digital electronic devices. Digital is also lower in error rate, and digital instruments are free from observational errors. So digital allows high transmission speed, larger amount of information, greater economy, lower error rates, multiple forms of communications on some circuit. Business value of telecommunication networks. So, today's situation with COVID-19 pandemic, the internet enables online learning and remote work in such circumstances. Email, video conferencing, mobile communication, and messaging also make social distancing more bearable, helping people adapt the new normal. Thousands of companies and businesses would be forced to cease their operations. The following are some reasons why telecommunication networks is very important in the business. It provides better customer service by reducing delay in filling orders and improve cash flow by speeding up the billing of the customers. Next, credit inquiries can be made and answered in seconds. Reduces expensive business trips, allows customers, suppliers, and employees to collaborate, thus improving the quality of decision reached. And fast, convenient services lock in customers and suppliers. So companies are developing strategic business value from the internet. So it enables them to disseminate information globally, communicate and trade interactively with customized informations and services. These capabilities allow them to generate cost savings from using telecommunication networks. Revenue increases from electronic commerce and better customer service. So these are the type of nets: the intranet, extranet, and internet. So let's start with the internet. The internet is a worldwide collection of interconnected networks. No central computer system, no governing body. It is not owned by any individual or a group. An internet is a public network. Since it is a public network, therefore anyone can access it without username and password. ISP or Internet Service Provider. ISP, it is a company that specializes in providing easy access to the internet. We have monthly fee. So ISPs are connect to one another through network access points. ISP or Internet Service Provider, it provides access to the internet either via phone lines, cable television lines, or satellite connections, such as our ISP here in the Philippines are PLDT, Globe, Smart, and other internet provider. So the following are the popular uses of the internet: surfing or researching for information, exchanging electronic messages with attachments in emails, having meeting through or via chat rooms or Google Meet, publish your articles or blog, e-commerce. You can also download and upload files or software, computing, and other uses such as entertainment or any virtual activities. So without internet, it is hard for businessmen to generate money. Especially in our current situation that we are facing this pandemic. Without internet, businesses may stop. So internet helps the businesses even in the midst of pandemic where customers are not allowed to go outside from their homes. So these are the business value of internet. It generates new revenue sources, develop new market and channels, attract new customers, increase customer loyalty and retention, develop new web-based products, and reduce cost of doing business. An intranet. A network. It is a network inside an organization that it uses internet technologies. It provides an internet-like environment within the organization for information sharing, communications, collaborations, and support of business processes. So another is it is protected by security measures than internet, because internet nobody owns it. So it can be accessed by authorized users through the internet. And since it is private network, therefore no one can access it without valid username and password. That's an intranet. So intranets provide an enterprise information portal. The firewall, as you can see, it is installed between the private organizational network and the public internet to monitor all traffic flowing in and out of the organization. As you can see, the firewall filters the packet from the outside of the organization, such as customers, suppliers, and some of their partners. Extranet. Extranet, it is a network links that use internet technologies to connect the internet of the business with the intranet of its customers, suppliers, and other business partners. It allows users from outside to access the intranet of an organization. So this is an example of extranet. The suppliers and distributors business customers, customers and partners, consultants, contractors can access the intranet of the business. So, to understand better the difference of the three nets, so point of difference, accessibility of networks. So the internet is the public, extranet and intranet are private. Availability, the internet is global because everyone can access it. Extranet is to share information with their suppliers and vendors or their partners, and intranet, it is only specific to their organization alone. So in coverage, internet all over the world, yes, because everyone can access and can be connected, while extranet accessible only to the members of an organization and external members with logins, and intranet, it is accessible only to the members of the organizations. And the owner of internet is nobody owns it. Then for extranet, single or multiple organization, and the internet is the single organization or their organization alone. The purpose of the network, the internet, is to share information throughout the world, while the extranet is to share information between members and external members, and the intranet is to share information throughout the organization. Telecommunications network. Any arrangement where a sender transmits a message to a receiver over a channel consists of some type of medium. Email, phone call, text messaging, etc. All of this communication make use of telecommunication systems. So the telecommunication systems collect nodes and links to enable telecommunications. The node are the devices used to communicate with such as computer or cell phones. There are components of telecommunication networks. The components of telecommunication networks: the terminals. It is the input or output device that uses networks to transmit or receive data. So terminal, it is the starting and stopping point of all the communication, just like the cell phone. Then telecommunication processors. It is the devices that support data transmission and receptions. It provides number of control in support function. For example, data needs to be translated from analog to digital. Telecommunication channels. Media which data are transmitted and received. So it transmits and receives data which includes various types of cables. Computer, all sizes and types. Telecommunication control software. It is responsible in controlling the functionality and activities of the network. Local area network or LAN. It connects computers within a limited physical area such as office, classroom, or building. Each computer has an access to the resources of other nodes available within the LAN. It allows the users to share hardware, software resources in LAN, through LAN. They can also communicate with each other by sending messages and emails. The transfer of data is high speed. It exists in a small geographical area and it is less expensive. LAN or local area network, which means the network and the devices are within the limited range. So this is an example of LAN. These are the computers connected to a switch. This is a switch. So comparing it to a school, in CSU, we have the course or program IS-101. So
we have in IS-101 there are 3 sections: V1, F1, and V3. Assume that each student is a computer or a device. So each student has an ID number in which she is identified just like a computer that has an IP address. If a computer from section B1 wants to talk to section B3, the student from B1 needs permission from their instructor that he wants to talk to the section B3. The instructor represents the switch in the network. Switch is a device in which the local area network connects the devices. But if the student from section B1 wants to meet a student outside the school, in that case, for example, the school from SU, so in that case, the student has to go to the main security or the security guard to allow him or her to go outside the university. So the main guard represents the router. A router is a networking device that forwards data packet from local area because this is the local area network and outside of its network. So it will forward the data to another router. So how will a machine know if the computer is inside the LAN or not? So it is done through subnet, and subnet defines your LAN range.
Wide Area Network, or WAN. It is a telecommunication network that covers a large geographic area. It spans in an unrestricted geographic area, but WAN or Wide Area Network is expensive. Virtual Private Network, a secure network that uses the internet as its backbone, but relies on firewalls, encryption, and other security. Did you know that ISP or internet service provider like PLDT or Globe can still see you on what you are browsing even if you are using incognito window? Yes, they can still see you. But in VPN, it will give you privacy online by creating a private network. VPN establishes secure and encrypted connections even if you are connected to the Wi-Fi of Robinsons or SM Mall. Client-server networks. The client-server model classifies computers into 2 sections: the requester and response provider. Client. Clients are the end-user personal computers or networked computer, interconnected by LANs. So a client is a machine that allows the user to make requests through web. While server manages the networks. A server is not a device, it runs the server programs. A server responds with a message as soon as it receives the request. Peer-to-peer networks. It is a network that connects from one PC to another PC. It is commonly used in the downloading and trading of files. So peer-to-peer, it is different from client-server. Peer-to-peer is a way of communication directly between 2 devices with no third party in between. So in peer-to-peer model, there's no client and there's no server. So let's talk about telecommunications media. A twisted pair cable consists of 2 thin copper wires twisted to form a spiral. The wires are twisted to reduce the amount of interference from another cables. They are commonly used by telephone systems. Coaxial cable. Sturdy copper or aluminum wire wrapped with spacers to insulate and protect it. So it consists of one copper which is covered with a shield. Fiber optic cable. One or more hair-thin filaments of glass fiber wrapped in a protective jacket. So fiber optic cable as high as trillions of bits per second, many times faster than copper. So the coaxial cable is from 200 million bits to over 500 million bits per second, while the telecommunications media, they are commonly twisted pair transmission speeds from 2 million bits per second for unshielded and 100 million bits for shielded. Wireless technologies. Earthbound microwave systems that transmit high-speed radio signals in a line-of-sight path between relay systems spaced approximately 30 miles apart. Terrestrial microwave. It is a microwave that's used by telephone networks, for example. Communication satellites. Satellite servers are a relay station for communication signals. Uses microwave radio signals. Satellite tries to eliminate the light of sight barriers that can often happen, like buildings or anything that get in the way. So there is satellite up in the space. When the data is sent to the satellite, it is called uplinked. But if the satellite returns the same data, it is called downlink. Cellular and PCS, telephone and pager systems, it divides the geographic area into small areas or cells. Each cell has transmitter or radio relay antennas to send message from one cell to another. Wireless LANs, radio signals within the office or building. It connects PCs to networks. So as we all know, the wireless LAN allows devices to connect and communicate wirelessly. And Bluetooth, the short-range wireless technology to connect PC to peripherals such as printer or cell phones. So we all know what Bluetooth is. So Bluetooth, we pair devices. Telecommunications processors, the modem, modulator and demodulator. It converts digital signals from a computer into analog frequencies that can be transmitted over ordinary telephone lines. So the word modem means modulator, demodulator. A computer only reads digital signals, while signal out of the internet is analog. Modem modulates outgoing digital signals into an analog signal. A modem demodulates incoming analog signal into a digital signal. So comparing modem to another technologies, so this is the comparison of modem and other technologies: the modem, DSL, ISDN, cable modem, home satellite, and local microwave. Inter-network processors. These are the hub, switch, router, and gateway. These are the most commonly used in inter-network processors. Each device transports data in a specific way. So the hub, it supports switching communications processors. It replicates the data, as you can see in the example below. So the hub connects all the devices together within the network, but hub is not so intelligent, because when a computer sends packet to the other computer, it replicates the packet and sends it to all computers that are connected to it. It means the hub does not filter the data. This is the disadvantage of hub. It creates traffic and also a waste of bandwidth because it replicates data from here to all devices that are connected to switch. The switch is very similar to hub. It has multiple ports, as you can see. It has multiple ports that also connect all of your devices together. The difference of the hub and switch is that the switch can identify which device the packet is intended to. It records the physical address called MAC address of the device that are connected to it. For example, it sends the packet and it does not replicate that data. Router. It is intelligent communication processors that interconnects networks based on different protocols. It routes data from one network to another network based on the IP address. So the hub and switches connects only the devices within its network, right? So to communicate outside their network, it needs router because the router reads IP address. The router is a device that routes data from one network to another network based on IP address. When the data packet is received from the router inspects the data IP address and identifies if the data packet is for its network or for another network. So if the data packet is for its own network, so the device within the network will receive it, of course. But if the data is for another network, it will send the packet to another network. So in summary, the router routes the data from one network to another network.
So here is an example to understand more the router. So there are two networks as an example. So each network has its own router and switch. So if a computer A from this network wants to communicate to the computer B of this network, so the packet has to leave its own network. So the packet will go to the switch and the switch will identify the MAC address if it is in the network. So it identifies that the MAC address is not for this network. It will forward the packet to the router, and then the router will identify the IP address. So it goes out through its network. So once the data packet reaches its own network, the network here, the router will look at the IP address of the packet, and then forward the data to the switch, and the switch will identify the exact computer where the data is intended to.
Gateway. Gateway connects networks using different communication architectures. The gateway serves as an entry and exit point of the network. Multiplexer. It allows a single communication channel to carry simultaneous data transmissions from many terminals. So multiplexing is a technique of transmitting multiple signals over a single medium. Traffic management. It manages network resources and traffic to avoid congestion and optimize service levels to users. Just like in the road, we need traffic management to avoid blocking and collisions of cars and bicycles, as well as the smooth flow of the traffic. So in network, it is important to avoid congestion. Security. It provides authentication, encryption, firewall, auditing, and enforcement. Network monitoring. Troubleshoot and watch over the network, informing network administrators of potential problems before they occur. So, the network monitoring, it detects slow or failing networks components before they cause any problems, such as overloaded or crashed servers, failing routers, failed switches, or other problematic devices. Capacity planning. Survey network resources and traffic patterns and users' needs to determine how best to accommodate the needs of the network as it grows and changes. So in other words, network capacity planning is ensuring that the network has the resources it needs to prevent an impact on business critical applications. So the network topology is the structure of a network. So we have the bus, ring, and other topology. So with the bus, it is a local processors share the same communication channel. So as you can see in the picture, they are just sharing the same channel. So in bus topology, there is only single cable that runs through the building, in which all the devices are connected to a single cable. So these are the advantages of bus topology, but there are also disadvantages. Another network topology is the ring topology. Ties local computer processors together in a ring on a relatively equal basis. So these are also the advantages and the disadvantages of the ring topology. The next topology is the star. Ties end-user computers to a central computer. So the advantages and its disadvantages. So the next topic is the OSI and TCP IP models. So these are the two group of layers. On the TCP IP models, there are 5 layers: the application for process layer, host-to-host transport layer, IP, network interface, and physical layer. While in an OSI model, there are 7 layers. The application layer. The application layer is the layer where you interact with technologies such as browser and app firewalls. Presentation layers, dealing with the syntax, codes. Session layer, where the session management is happening. Transport layer, this is where your TCP and UDP ports. Network, the IP layer such as routers. The data link layer, that is the switching layer, MAC address such as switches, and the physical layer such as interfaces and cables. Bandwidth. So the bandwidth, it is the frequency range of a telecommunication channel. It determines transmission rate and classified in bits per second. The transmission rates are narrowband and broad. So the higher the bandwidth enables the large volume of data in bits per second to be transmitted than lower bandwidth. So think of a pipe, the pipe with water in it. So the wider the pipe, the more water can flow through it. So meaning the higher the bandwidth,
the more that the larger data will transmit.
So that ends our lecture of telecommunications and networks. I hope you understand the importance and the impact of telecommunication and networks in our daily activities. See you in my next video!